Maybe I got it wrong about Ubuntu. Maybe it's not the best Linux distro out there. Especially if a developer wants full control over your system. Okay, let's talk about this some more, and let's dive into Arch Linux and why it's worth considering. I've received a lot of feedback from you about why Arch may be better for developers than, say, Ubuntu. So let's break down the pros and cons and see when Arch shines and when Ubuntu might still be the better choice. Arch Linux offers a level of control that is kind of unmatched. You build your own system from the ground up, installing only what you need and configuring exactly the way that you want. There is no bloat, no unnecessary software or pre-installed packages. You get a lean, mean, customized machine tailored to your needs. And with Arch's rolling release model, you're always using the latest software versions. There are no need for PPAs or waiting for the next Ubuntu release. Just update and you've got the newest features and patches. And this is perfect for developers who need the latest tools and libraries without the hassle of managing multiple repositories. And with the Arch User Repository, or the AUR, this is a treasure trove of user-contributed packages, making it easy to install pretty much anything you need. Pacman, Arch's package manager, is simple yet powerful, offering quick installations, updates, and system maintenance. So this all sounds amazing. But wait, I would say the following. Arch isn't for everyone, including developers. The Arch installation process is no joke. It's not a simple point-and-click affair like Ubuntu. You have to configure everything manually, from partitioning your disks to setting up the bootloader. If you're new to Linux, Arch could become overwhelming. There's no hand-holding here, and you'll need to be comfortable using the command line for almost everything. So while you get the latest and greatest software, this can sometimes break your system if you're not careful with updates. You need to be prepared to troubleshoot and fix things on your own. Again, this is very much in the heart of the traditional Linux and Unix user. They like getting stuck in and getting into the nitty-gritty. But frequent updates can be a double-edged sword. If you're not updating regularly and carefully, you could run into dependency issues or broken packages. And sure, Arch has a great community and extensive documentation, but it assumes you know what you're doing. If you're stuck, finding help might be harder. Might be, I'm not saying it will be, but might be harder compared to Ubuntu's more beginner-friendly forums and guides. So this leads me to the point. Arch is fantastic if you really want to get stuck into learning about Linux, but as a developer, maybe Ubuntu might still be the better choice. Of course, it's very much user dependent, but Ubuntu is fantastic for anyone new to Linux. That's one of the things I stand by. The installation is straightforward, the user interface is intuitive, and it makes it easy for anyone to switch from something like Windows or macOS over to Linux. So I like Ubuntu as a gateway for people to get into the world of Linux without being too scared off by some of the harder, more command line heavy aspects of something like Arch Linux. And of course, with its LTS long-term support releases, Ubuntu provides a stable and reliable environment for those who don't want to deal with the frequent updates and the potential instability of a rolling release. Overall, you get the out-of-the-box experience, which I think is really great for newcomers. Ubuntu comes with everything you need to get started, from a full suite of pre-installed software to drivers and media codecs. And yes, while snaps can be a bit controversial, and I get it if you're used to Linux and you really like the idea of using the command line, having complete control over what's installed and what isn't installed, snaps can simplify installing and updating software for new users, especially users jumping over something like Windows. Using a snap would feel really comfortable compared to using the command line. So you might not love them, but they can be handy for less technical users, for users who just want to use Linux and get the benefit of Linux without fully getting entrenched in the nitty-gritty right away. And of course, Ubuntu has its massive user base and a ton of resources available online, making it easy to find support for almost any issue. Now, the company behind Ubuntu also provides enterprise support, making it a solid choice for businesses and professionals who need a dependable system. So, there you have it. I am not saying Ubuntu is the only choice, but depending on where you're coming from, you may think all of that sounds really appealing compared to what might seem like a scary option for something like Arch, which requires you to be really into the command line and getting into why and how Linux works from the moment you press the on switch to the moment the screen flashes in front of you. So overall, I would say Arch is for those who want ultimate control over their system, the latest software, and they don't mind getting their hands dirty with configurations and command lines. For some people, including myself, I say this can be quite fun, and it's perfect for developers and power users who value customization and cutting-edge tools. But on the other hand, Ubuntu might be the go-to for beginners, casual users, and those who want a hassle-free Linux experience. It's reliable, easy to use, and well-supported, making it a great choice for most users. And I really champion the idea of trying to get more people to integrate themselves into using Linux, making the jump from macOS or Windows into trying Linux. And Ubuntu can be the great first step for that. So whether you're an Arch enthusiast or an Ubuntu loyalist, the best Linux distro is ultimately the one that fits your needs. But what do you think? Is Arch the way to go, or does Ubuntu still have its place? Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.